something good that's going on in your world. And hey, everybody, this is Meg Johnson, excited for tonight. Tonight is Monday, March 27th, and you are in for a treat. This is going to be a really special night. We're going to be talking all about coaching and how to be a great coach in this season. And we thought, what a better way to open it up than to find out from you guys, of all of the coaches that you have ever had, even including your Optavia coach, what has inspired you most, or what have you appreciated the most? If you'll just pop that in the chat, we would love to see your answers. So let us know, of all the coaches you've ever had, what has inspired you the most? So think of all the different coaches that you've had, and we would love to know what of their traits or qualities has really been inspiring. So Meredith said consistency through all seasons of life. Candy said lack of judgment, just supportive. Meeting me where I'm at, having faith for when I don't have it on my own. Compassion, personal interest, lack of judgment. Woo, these are going too fast. Empathy, being direct, always showing up. Encouragement, being empathetic, honest, real, insight for when I need it, positive and caring. Well, we would love to hear from one of you out there, and just share with us what it has meant, what your coach has meant to you. Vicki, would you mind sharing? You had some really great words. Would you mind coming off mute and sharing how that coach has impacted you and what you most appreciate about them?
Yeah, you mean, I don't know if Vicki Meister's on here, so I just want to make sure you were talking to me.
Vicki Feldman.
Yeah? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was going to say Dee popped into my head like right away, because I guess we're on this call together. And the one thing that I really love about Dee is she never discounts my feelings. She always acknowledges, what I'm experiencing. Has a great way of reframing it and asking if she can be direct, even if it's something that's hard for me to hear. Just personally, I know that, we all go through our own struggles, and Dee just always shows up regardless of what's going on in her life. So I always appreciate that.
Oh, Vicki, I love your honesty. I love your heart. And several of those characteristics are things we're going to talk about more in depth tonight. So you're going to hear from the legend herself, Dee Cortman. So Dee, you've got a few announcements for us tonight.
I do. Hey, everyone. Glad to see you guys. And like we said the other day, so good to see you guys on camera. We love the interaction with you guys through the chat. We really want to make this a fun and really powerful, informative call every week for you. But a couple of things that are going on, and I send all of this in the top 3 email that goes out on Mondays and whatever, but just a few key things I never want you to miss. We are going to do something new this week. We are going to, Time for You on Thursday is going to be a special client and coach time for you. So this one, Meg just posted about it in the group, but hopefully you can see this. And this is the flyer. So it's going to be about traveling while in weight loss. We talked about it in the last call, that it was just, our clients still need us, like even though we're doing the Monday night calls, and hopefully you're hopping on those, we'll talk about that in a minute, but our clients still need us, especially for particular topics like this. We know we have spring break, summer vacation. So we are super excited about that. And then, I don't know if you saw the post, guys, we have 39 of us registered for Dallas, Launch to Global. So very excited. And I know some invitations are out there. Some people have qualified, haven't quite made that decision. And if we can help you out with that decision, we would love for you to be there with us, because that's our smaller environment. But I got word from the leadership meeting last week that registration is going to open in mid-April for convention. And I also got a lot of the details. This is a do not miss event in July that everyone qualifies for. So that is that. We're going to be doing a lot more recognition in the group, celebration, prizes for you guys. Some of that we're going to talk about. We talked about this last week in terms of just helping your own coach out, and honoring the business model and the integrity of of the business model. If we could start lining up our premier orders to take place between the 1st and the 5th of the month, that helps your coach with projecting what their volumes are, and then they know their time available, for scheduling with you and all the other coaches they mentor. And we're going to give a prize. We're going to start doing some drawings. So line that up. Okay, but a couple of things is we're going to head right into our topic tonight, because this is a jam-packed call with something really fun at the end as well. So we're going to talk about how to be a great coach. And part of the reason that spurred this, I have a lot of conversations, even with the most experienced coaches, saying, what do I need to do? Or I don't feel like I'm a really good coach, or I've been doing this for years and I still don't feel like I'm that great. So you're probably a lot better than you think you are. We definitely want to enter this with grace and compassion. And if you hear anything that you're like, I'm not really doing that, just realize that coaching, it's an evolution, just like your health journey. We get better. We get better and better. And even if you make a 1% change from this call, you'll be 1% better, right? That's all going to compound together. But Nick Johnson, the president of Optavia, shared with us that, and you might have heard it on his call from Saturday, but he actually has implemented some secret shoppers into Optavia. And these were actually personal connections of his, people that had approached him that wanted to be a part of the program. So he intentionally put them through the LEADS program. And one was a reactivated client of someone he knew that their coach had left the organization. In this was a diverse group of people, but some actually needed and wanted coaching as well as the program. And the results, you guys, we have over 60,000 coaches in the US. Getting a lead is an honor, right? If you've qualified to get a lead, that means you've had $6,000 in volume or higher the month prior. And but many of these people, they weren't contacted. They either weren't contacted, or once the coach got their order, didn't do the weekly calls with them. And also at situations where the coaches were doing the weekly calls, but never offered them the trilogy. And so it's not something that we're proud of. I think we do a really stellar job in our organization. I think we come to it with integrity, with heart, for the right reasons. I don't think anybody's in here to collect orders, but just wanted you to be aware that that is out there. And I'm really proud of our company that we do that, because we do have so many coaches that we want the integrity to be, I would love if everybody got the same level of service, no matter who they coached with. But it's just not the way it is. So we want to help you tonight really learn how to brand yourself with over 60,000 coaches out there. Like, why would somebody want to do business with you? What would make you stand apart? So the couple of things we're going to talk about, and if you have something to write it with, love to kind of make things memorable and short and sweet. So 3 things that we're going to put this in, 3 categories, and then there's some subcategories in each one. But the 3 categories are, and actually, I'm not going to jump into this. I just jumped our agenda, Meg. You want to go?
No,
I felt like, why am I talking so much?
When you're in the zone, Dee, we got our pins, we're ready to go. But that was a perfect segue, because just hearing that about the secret shoppers and all of that, that makes me want to make sure I'm at my best. So I would love to invite everybody, use the chat and let us know, what do you think makes a good coach? I know a lot of times we can get in our own heads in this business, but we know it can be so simple. So put in the chat, what makes a good coach? And as you're thinking about that, I'm going to encourage you to think about when you first reach out to your coach, what was it about them that made them safe? And I see people, Debbie, saying being integrated, being a good listener, being a willingness to coach people where they are, being a good listener, consistent listening. Man, that word listening keeps coming up. So keep coming. Think about that. Think about what you needed. But here's another question to ask yourself. And this one could sting a little bit. Would you want to be your coach? The way that you are showing up for clients, potential clients, coaches right now, is that what you would want from your coach? And it's okay if not. I think it's a time to be curious around that. If your answer is no, let's have a good conversation about it and figure out why not and what could be getting in your way. So we'll just encourage you, as we are talking, take good notes, be open and curious, think about what your own coach does that is great. And I have a feeling when we get off this call in just a little bit, we are going to be fired up and inspired about the lives that change on the other side. And that's really what we're here to talk about. So I think, you know, as we just launch into this, I think we got to be clear on our values and what we stand for. I think we got to know why we're here. And as Dee said, there are so many coaches. So why is someone going to choose you? We know why they're going to want to choose you, right? Because you have the empathetic listening skills, because of your heart, the way you show up. But knowing your own value is really important. So Dee, we've got 3 C's tonight. Do you want to share them?
I do. And if you are unclear or fuzzy on your why you're coaching or the significance of what it is that we offer, if you did not have a chance yet to watch either live or the replay from Saturday, it was the final session of the boot camp, and Nick Johnson and Dr. Anderson pretty much spoke for the whole thing. I would call it like their State of the Union. Like, they really talked about the environment today, what it is that we offer, anything you might be concerned about was addressed. And when you hear Dr. A and his mission, and you get reminded of a man that has not wavered in almost 20 years in this, right? Like, just believing and knowing for a fact that we just keep getting better and better. And he is constantly on a mission for himself to get better, and us and what we offer. So I am super proud. And as I look around what's going on in the world, I know for a fact, nothing compares to what we do. And so, you know what, we just stay out there and keep doing what we're doing. So the first 3, the first C is consistency. Right? First C is being consistent. And within that, we could probably talk for 30 minutes just on this, but the key ones that really wanted to touch on tonight, because they really are the most relevant. One is your health, being consistent in your own health. And I have talked to a lot of coaches lately, and I know from feedback is that some of us are stuck on the 5 and 1-ish. We're good for a couple of days, you know what I mean? We're never quite in fat burn, but we're afraid to transition. And we're doing this loop that we don't want our clients to be in. So if you are struggling in your health, or just kind of playing this game of the cycle, which we always pride ourselves in not being, helping people out of the yo-yo cycle, let's work on getting out of the yo-yo cycle, and work through it, get to your goal and transition, rather than doing that. And also being, like, I think Debbie had put in the comments, being integrated into the system. And that means that we're showing up on the weekly community calls, now it is the webinar style now. So we encourage you to be there, engage. It'd be easy to hide and not be on those calls. But if we want to lead our clients to what works, what's going to help us in our own personal health is being plugged in. And that would be being plugged in for the calls in your Habits of Health book, your life book. It is pure gold, and our journey is always evolving. So can't say enough about that. And then with the business, really being connected. So, kudos to the 61 of us that are here right now, but being connected is how you're going to be the most informed coach, be able to, relay the most up-to-date information. Like, they just updated the Optavia guide, right? So Meg is working on a new welcome video for that, but we want to be aware of these things so that when our clients, get the information, so we can get plugged in through our team calls. I do the Monday coach email, and then also the Optavia updates that come out on Mondays at 6 p.m. Take the time to read them, especially all the stuff on compliance. And if you're not receiving those emails, you can contact coach support and just let them know, or ask them a question about how to be added into that. Because it is just critical to be a part of it and being plugged into our community. Make it a point. We're finding in our Facebook groups, not the algorithm stuff is affecting groups as well. So not everybody's seeing posts. So even if you took, 1 or 2 times a day, you can actually set your settings to see the most recent post. And you can do that. We can put a little something about that in the coach group and how to do it. But all of this is important, as well as being connected and consistent in staying connected with your mentor, with your business coach. Trying to do this in a silo just doesn't work. There's too many emotions and thoughts and all the things that that your coach can help you stay abreast of. So that's going to be important, as well as staying connected in your back office. Sometimes we don't want to look in the back office. We're like, don't really want to see it. But an informed coach knows where they stand, right? An informed coach knows what they want, knows where they want to go, knows the number of people they want to help, number of coaches they want to support, and we keep track of it. And we keep track of what's happening in our back office. Ignorance just never wins in anything in life, right? And then the other thing is maybe put just put a 1 in the chat, or put a 1 in the chat if you are not aware of or just choose not to use the weekly email, the Optavia email that they provide for us. And there's no shame, no embarrassment. Put a 1 in the chat if you just, maybe you don't know where it is or you're just not using it. Okay. And there's a lot of different reasons. So I wanted to bring this up because thank you for being honest. Thank you. Okay. So the newsletter was one of the first tools that I was introduced to. And it is powerful because one, it's a connection to your clients while they're active. And even when they go inactive, they'll still, unless they opt out, they're still going to get that email from you. And many times, it's just a touch that you get to do. And many times clients will actually re-engage with me in reply to one of our emails, our weekly emails. This is a polished, slick email from Optavia that they provide for us. But I also use it for candidates. Anybody that I've ever spoken to about the program, that's ever asked me about it, or just wants up-to-date health tips and recipes, I said, you want to be on my newsletter? And that will also be a way that you can touch them regularly. But what some people are not aware of, and I'm hoping my screen is still active, I want to share in the back office. Can you guys see my screen or not?
Yes.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, hang on.
No.
Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yeah.
A little bit messy. So I am in the back office. I am in the Optavia share section. And I actually went up here to my library. So here is all the emails that I have sent out recently. And so the last one that I sent was last week's email. I can click on that email and they have unbelievable metrics that they give us. And I'm hoping this will follow along. Yep. So on this email, once you send it, you can click on activity up here. And when you click it, it will actually tell you of those people that you sent it to, how many actually viewed it. 392 people viewed my email. Now, I'm going to tell you, it goes out to about 1,000 people. So it doesn't get opened by everyone, but it does get viewed. So 392 people viewed it. We can then go down and scroll and actually get more metrics. You can actually sort this by who viewed it, right? Actually get the list of who viewed it. And then you can actually sort by how many times did they view it. So like I have actually one of my clients, she opened it 6 times. 6 times. Maybe she's looking to re-engage. Another client opened it 4. So this shows you people are getting it and they're opening it and going through it. Joel West, inactive client, be a good idea to reach out to him, right? So if you see that somebody is opening your emails, it shows an interest, right? And so it might be just a prompt. I wouldn't necessarily call and say, hey, you've opened the email 4 times, wondering if you're ready to go back on program. But what I might say is, hey, Joel, just wanted to touch base. We haven't connected in a while. Are you still receiving my emails? Is there anything I can help you with? Right? So it's an Optavia share. So there is information in Connect or in there about how to send it, but we also have stuff in Coaches Up for Change that we can link you to. But other than that, we're going to also talk in a minute about social media. We talk about this relentlessly, but being consistent in how you show up and branding yourself is just so important. Really, what sets you apart? Want to be careful that we're not just promoting the program, because they can go online to Optavia and get any old coach, and we know they're not going to get the service that you would give them. And so, why would they want to work with you? What makes you different? Let them hear your voice. And really it's personality that people are connected to. So we'll talk about more of that in a minute about videos and reels, but I think that's what I got. Meg's going to move us on to the next C.
That was great. So a good coach is consistent. And if you've got some opportunities for growth in those bullets that Dee was just walking through, maybe jot them down. Maybe some things that you want to work on your consistency. And it doesn't mean that you're bad. It just means that, hey, we're going to work on our consistency in those areas. The second C that we're going to talk about, a good coach is courageous. And Brene Brown has an incredible question that she asks, and she says, what is the courageous thing to do? And I love that question because a good coach is courageous. A good coach has fear when they bring up coaching or when they are sharing about the program. Having fear is absolutely normal, but what we want to empower you to do is to also feel that fear, but be courageous in your actions. It is so good to be able to step out of your comfort zone and push past the point of being comfortable. That's what a good coach does, by the way. A good coach pushes somebody past the point of being comfortable. And so that's what we get to do with our clients. And that's what we get to do with our coaches. And I just think about my own coach, and I would not be where I am today if she were not courageous over and over and over again. And if she didn't push me past the point of being comfortable. And goodness knows, here I am almost 6 years later, so grateful that she did that. So I would just encourage you to think about what areas can you be courageous in? And one of the best ways any of us can be courageous is in pursuing our own personal self-growth, right? If you talk to any of the leaders within Optavia, I basically can guarantee you that they will say the biggest increase in their business happened when they invested in themselves and when they grew on their own personal growth. So just want to encourage you to take that action, face those uncomfortable situations head on, and just have those conversations. And excited to highlight Elizabeth Manfroni tonight. She's going to share with us. She has had huge strides with the way that she has just grown as a person, but also just being more courageous in how she presents herself. So Elizabeth, would you share the raw and real of what you've been going through?
Sure. Whew, guys. So courage is not absence of fear, right? It's showing up and learning and being open and curious through it. And y'all, I am not normally nervous public speaking. Like, I have realized as I have really pursued personal growth, that I kind of get in this role, which I've learned is a mask and is walls. And when I'm in the zone, that's not always the truest form of me. And that has been terrifying to face, but to push through and see the ripple effects of what I have been attempting, sometimes failing, picking myself back up again, brushing myself off, and keep going, that I had all of these preconceived notions on what a health coach should look like, how they should talk, how they should show up on social media. And those were not always the truest form of myself. They weren't the truest form of my story, and was really challenged to step back and to really think about, who am I trying to serve? Who is watching? Who is being impacted by the content that I am putting out? And is that the desired audience that I want to have? And then the really gut punch question was, well, Elizabeth, would you have approached yourself? No, I would not have approached myself. And so from that moment on, I have not been using filters, which has been super terrifying, because if you've used a filter, you know that they are very complimentary. And that is exactly how I wish I looked. But there's nothing wrong with how I am right now. There's nothing wrong with wearing your hair braided 5 days out of 7 in the week. There's nothing wrong with sharing the struggle and that you were committing to not be on that yo-yo effect, and to posting your food because you live life better out loud and make really bad choices when you feel like you're being secretive. Because that's me, guys. When I feel like the wall is up and nobody can see me, that's when bad things happen in here. And that's when bad things happen with my digestion and my nutrition. And so what I started hearing, and this is courageous of me because this was embarrassing for myself, but I hope it can help you. What I started hearing from potential clients, from disengaged clients, from new clients who came out of the woodwork is, wow, what happened? Because now I feel like you're a real person. And now I feel like I can ask you these questions. And hey, I see that you microwave most of your lunches. I'm going to call you the microwave mama. Yeah, own it. I love me some warmed up cheese, girl. And it is a lean protein. So I guess I'm the microwave mama. But that mom now is saving up money so that she can pursue her own health. And she even admitted she hadn't contacted me because she thought that I was fake. She didn't think I would understand where she was coming from. She didn't think that I would understand cost. She didn't think that I would understand her limited time frame. She didn't think that I would see her, because every time I was letting people see me, it was photo stacks. It was real stacks. It wasn't real to that moment. And when I pulled back and started remembering that the people that I'm trying to serve are hurting, and remember the hurt that I had to heal from, and speaking from there, then that gave me the courage to not have to be perfect. And I'm still working on it, guys. But if you want to ask questions, if you want to brainstorm, if you want to hear more, know you can reach out, that this is a safe space.
Wow. Thank you, Elizabeth. I feel the difference too in you. I love that. I love that. I've got goosebumps. Yeah, so true. And that's a thing in this world of videos and reels and whatever. I mean, it can be like a performance, right? And then nobody gets to really see the real us. And I've been in that space before too, in terms of performing, and it's a great way to get stuck in your business. So thanks for being so honest. So we are being consistent, we are being courageous. And the last thing is that we care, right? That we care and we are curious about others. You heard it in Elizabeth, right? When she said, like, she took the focus off her and having the perfect look and the perfect sound and the perfect reel, and put her eyes on other people. That's where it happens. And a caring coach calls their clients. A caring coach is not afraid to reach out, right? They put that care, that empathy with the courage, and to reach out and have those conversations with our clients every week. And I tell her this hands down. I have worked with Debbie Pasco for 8 or 9 years now, Debbie, and I rank Debbie right up there at the very top for consistent client support. She speaks to her clients. I can tell when I talk to them, because she brings everybody to a celebration call, that they have a great relationship with her, and they take her calls, and she interacts and she engages and she takes copious notes and she remembers everything about them. So Debbie, you want to just share a bit about why you made that decision to be so consistent, and how do you get your clients to meet you there?
Yeah, and she does not remember a darn thing, which is why she takes copious notes. So yeah, I wrote notes because I knew I needed to be quick. So I'm going to just read my letter that I wrote. I believe that client support is the variable that can turn good clients into great clients. And by that, I mean people who have okay success to people who have like astounding success. And as always, runners are going to run and quitters are going to quit. So each and every one of us have runners, and each and every one of us have quitters. So if you are like, man, I just have clients who aren't doing a lot, it's not necessarily, oh, it's your fault. It's sometimes just people do what people do. But there's 90% of the clients, they're just human beings, and they are coming to this with some level of hope and some level of doubt. because they've tried other things and not had great success. So connecting with them and learning about them, guiding them and loving them through the process takes you from being just some coach to being the coach friend. You want to learn their worries, their hurts, their joys, and ask about those things. On the health assessment, which I know we all get trained on this, so we probably are all doing the same thing, but on the health assessment, I do mention the 4 components. I explain that my job as their coach is to be the person with the map. They're the person in the driver's seat with the steering wheel and the gas pedal. So they get to decide where we're going and how fast we're going and if we're going. But I'm the navigator. So when things are going well, they confirm with me, how are things going? And oh, look at that thing coming up ahead. How am I going to navigate that thing? So I get to be there with them for that. But when things are going rough or when you get off track, that's the most valuable time for your girl with the map, right? So I also make sure they understand that we both succeed when they have success. So I am fully invested in their success. I am not going to be your mama. I'm not going to carry you across the finish line. I'm also not going to be your drill sergeant and beat you up when you have a mess up, because you're a human being and you will. I'm just here to help you and be your friend and walk you through the process. So what keeps that 90% of people coming to the phone and connecting with me? That it would be the connection that I have with them. Sometimes my calls with these people really are 5 or 7 minutes long, just touching on whatever's going on and where they are in their life book, and that's it. But sometimes it gets like it's a longer, deeper conversation that goes into what's going on in their world. So for example, I have a client who's in the painful process of leaving her husband and figuring out her job situation. So our most recent call, which was today, we talked about her and what's going on in her world and how she's navigating those things. And just towards the end, I just kind of said, hey, listen, let's spend 5 minutes talking about your health journey. And then I think I have an idea about where we should go next in your life book based on what's going on in your world right now. So it's all about connecting and what's good for her and where she is. So with what is going on in her world, the reason she answered the phone when I called was because it was Debbie calling, not because it was her coach calling. So it's that being there and being their person, right? So be a person and compliment wisdoms when they come. People say things all the time that I'm like, oh my gosh, that was good. That was so insightful. I got to write that down. Thank you so much for that. You know, you do sound like a coach, actually. You sound, somebody said that to me just the other day when I was being coached. So compliment them, feed them. They need that. Just be authentic and be real. Don't be plastic, be real, be you. The value for them is the connection that they feel with us. And that's it. 8 of 1.
Look at that, Debbie. Way to be. I love what you said. And I love what you said. Like you're the navigator, right? You've got the map and you're going to help them navigate this journey. So that was beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. We got one more thing to share with you and then our action items, and we'll let you get on to the community call. Meg, you want to hit it?
Yes. Okay. So want to just encourage you to put in the chat of all the things you've heard tonight. Where is the gap for you? What is holding you back? Just think about it. What's holding you back and what are you going to do about it? Just think about that right now as we make this exciting announcement. Just want to encourage you to think about that gap. We threw a lot of information at you, but this is leading us into the perfect segue. So we are excited to take our coaching to the next level and announce our next challenge. So we are starting a 5-week experience called Choose to Lose. And here is the picture of it. Hopefully you can see all of this. So Choose to Lose 5 weeks of intentional living starting on April 10th. That's the Monday after Easter, and ending on May 15th. So this is the graphic we created for you. We have all of the details that'll be posted in Coaches Up for Change. And we're excited about what is going to be possible. So you're going to want to be talking about this on social media with your current clients. This could be a way to get people to re-engage, to help with all the different things going on right now. And we're excited to see what happens in this 5-week experience. All right, Dee.
All right. And just to bring it home, because we've talked about, knowledge is one thing, but application, applied knowledge is where the magic happens. So your challenge and what we're going to start doing is do a follow-up post after these calls during the week to say, like, where are you on your action items? And if you respond and you've done it, you're going to go in a drawing for a cool prize. We're not going to tell what that prize is because we're going to do something different each week. So the action items for this week are to send the weekly newsletter. Now, some of that, you guys, that's a slam dunk because you're already doing it. If it's new for you, just have something new to learn this week, which is going to be a great service to your clients and candidates. And the second is whatever it is you are, write down tonight, right now, right when you get off the call, what is it you want to improve? Based on everything you heard, what is your opportunity area, your gap? What's the gap you want to fill? And then this week, just comment if you took a step in that direction. Like we said, all of this is an evolution for coaching. But we're going to all head over to the Optimal Health community call. Encourage you to text your clients if you haven't already. Let them get on there with you. We are honored to be here with you. We are going to be mapping out the next couple of months calls with other leaders and super excited for what we're going to be able to bring. So thank you guys. Thanks to Debbie and Elizabeth for sharing and to Meg as well. Bye-bye.